them are more than pals.
Our show can be a little gay,
But if you're not,
that's okay.
you can listen and have fun either way. Xena, Star Wars, Doctor Who, guests and music and reviews. Game of Thrones, Winona too. We promise there's something for you. She nerds out. We're girls that like nerdy things. Nerdy things.
Hello and welcome to the She Nerds Out podcast. I'm Kat.
I'm Wendy.
Oh, and this is Anne.
Anne.
Yeah.
On today's episode, we have some nerd news. We're going to talk some sports. And we are going to Purgatory to talk about Tales from Purgatory. But first, hi, Anne. How are you?
Well, the reason I'm here is, we were trapped in a gondola. And
Oh, no.
Here we go.
Noe, Tara, myself, and Banana Cat were all in the gondola. But only me, Banana Cat, and Noe made it out alive.
Oh, no.
As I've been accused of, I just started killing off my friends.
Well,
Tara didn't make it.
Who was it? It was with us last week. Was it an imposter?
Yeah, it was an imposter.
Was it
Oh,
Tara?
shit.
Oh.
Damn.
No.
She was good. She fooled us.
She was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
She never made it out of the gondola.
And a delicious.
Oh, wow.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, that is good to know.
Yeah.
Did she taste like chipotle and wine? That's would be my guess.
And a little bit of maple syrup.
Oh.
We did mention that. So it was the last night of the convention. It was Sunday night. Everyone was like in a great mood. We're going out. One last hurrah. And we text upstairs to Wendy and Tara. We're like, hey, what are you guys doing? And we get some photos back. It was a burrito, TV, and wine.
Mm-hmm.
But we convinced Wendy to come back down.
In my PJs.
That's right. But
And
Tara
then
was
you got
just-
hit on by like a gazillion, you got hit on one time,
guy.
but then you got hit on at the gondola too, didn't you? There was somewhere else we were that you got.
It was the hike. Was it the hike? The first hike? That little stroll through the
Maybe.
wooded area? We had to go
I
through the
lost-
tunnel.
Oh, I
Yeah.
stopped and I talked to that random man who was talking to me about
Random
the
man.
Cowboys, and then he had no connection
yeah.
to Dallas. He just wanted to, and then I think it was Noe and Banana Cat stayed back to make sure I wasn't being killed, and the rest of y'all just kept going.
As good friends do.
Yeah, it's good friends too. They were both friendly. I mean, he
Well.
was chatty. I had a Dallas sweatshirt on. The French guy with the wine, when I'm wearing my PJs, I don't know.
You just
guess
you have a magnetism about you, Wendy.
That's no one has ever said.
But the funniest part was that we all like clocked it and our heads just turned like they were at a swivel all at the same time. And we're like, what just happened?
I didn't even think anyone noticed. He just kind of leaned in and, oh, is the wine good or something? I forget what he said. And then he walked off, and then I saw all of you turn around and say, what was that? Like, I don't know. He was asking about my wine. I know I was very confused. I thought, was that the bartender? Did he pour it? There was no connection. He just came up.
Oh,
to me.
there was a connection.
You got to shoot your shot, you know?
Mhm.
He shot, and it didn't hit the mark.
Speaking of shooting your shot, Anne, it's hard not to notice that you are just laden in Tubi merch.
I am dripping
yeah.
in Tubi swag.
Let's talk about it. How and what and why?
I don't remember, but then a Tubi package showed up on my stoop and weighed in at 5 pounds. And it was as though an intern opened a drawer and just started throwing every random Tubi product left over in a box for us.
It's amazing.
So we have hats, we have sweatshirts, we have Tubi tube socks.
Yes, I got my
no.
eyes on some Tubi tube socks.
We've got some stickers, we've got some fun pins,
Wow.
some tote bags, some Shark Week beach balls, we've got popcorn.
Aw.
So I will divvy that up as best as I can.
It's incredible.
Some things already spoken for.
Sure. Fair.
But yeah,
You
I'm
look
wearing
like
this.
dream that you might have had leading up to Winona where you're like thinking about Tubi all the time. Like I'd see you dreaming where like I was in a Tubi world in my Tubi hat with my Tubi banner.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, pretty much. I feel like I'm in a To Be fever dream when I
Mm-hmm.
go into my bedroom and see how it's taken over this desk in my bedroom. So
Well, we love Tubi, so
we love
and-
to be ported by To Be,
yes,
and we will accept all gifts.
yes, keep them coming, Tubi. But also,
Mhm.
like, wow, that's incredible. Like, they have obviously they have a lot of resources, so this is good. This could work out good for us, Winona
good.
fans.
So
let's
when
keep watching.
once
by
we
the way.
meet again,
Yes,
yeah, the
Amazing.
timing wasn't great. It was like the Friday of the convention. I got the thing saying all the stuff had arrived, and I wish it would have been great if it came before Canada, but also it would have added 5 pounds to my luggage that I
Mhm.
really didn't have to spare. So
yeah, I don't know how you
probably
would.
better this way.
I don't know how you would handle that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again, Tubi.
It's good to be here.
It's good to be having you.
Good
Thank
to
you for
be.
stepping in. Tara could not join us, but as always, Anne is kind enough to give us her time and wit, and we love her very much. So, Anne, thank you for being here. Wendy, birthdays?
You want to do some birthdays?
Let's do it. It's my
All
chance to
right.
get them all right.
Exactly. Well, all right. Our first birthday on October 23rd. I mean, this guy's had a big year. I know Tara's a big fan of his, so I thought we'll do his birthday. Ryan Reynolds. He might have had a movie come out
Oh,
this year.
I love
didn't
him.
even want to
I
see it, but I
like him a
saw it.
lot.
But yeah, he's very likable. And he and Hugh Jackman, if remember, I think it's true, they're hosting the Oscars next year.
Oh, that's fun.
Ooh,
Heard said.
Good idea.
Oh, great idea.
Canadian, Ryan
he's
Reynolds.
handsome.
Great Canadian. He is very handsome, very funny, very likable man. I'm gonna say Ryan Reynolds is turning 49.
I'm gonna say 49 or 50.
Well, I'm sorry. Y'all were close. He'll turn 48.
Okay.
Ah!
Pretty darn close.
Yeah, so sorry. 48 for Mr. Ryan Reynolds. He's accomplished a lot in his 48 years. Good for
Yes.
you. Next up, one of, in my mind, one of the most beautiful women that has ever graced the screen. And my dad had a particular crush on her as well.
Oh.
She was born on, and it's not Linda Carter, who is probably his number one. October 26th is the birth date of Jacqueline Smith. Charlie's Angel Jacqueline Smith.
Boy.
I think she's a stunning woman.
Brunette, right?
Yeah. She was, you had Farrah, you had Sabrina, and then you had Jacqueline, who played Kelly on the original Charlie's Angels.
Oh boy, this is tough.
Okay, that was like what, the 70s?
Yeah, this is like
76 to 81.
And what was she like, maybe 20 then?
I'm guessing she was late 20s, early 30s. That's my guess.
And that was 40 years ago?
Ouch, but yeah.
No, it's more. Isn't it closer to?
45.
So she
I'm gonna. Yeah.
70?
I'm gonna say 75.
I'm double checking my work. She's turning 79.
Whoa!
That
I was.
79 for Jacqueline
Damn.
Smith.
Is she still? She's not still working, right? Yeah, you don't really hear much about Jacqueline Smith these days.
No, you
All
don't.
right. Well,
I mean, the
she
last
has-
thing she did. Well, no, she's been on something called All American. She's done 4 episodes.
Oh, that's a
mean-
network television show. That's
she was in
CW,
something
I
called.
think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, great. Good for you, Jacqueline. Keep
She
working.
pops up here and there. I mean, it's
Good for
kind of
her.
there's years between appearances, but she'll show up.
Just only do it if it makes you happy, Jacqueline.
You're to
Jackie.
that point in life.
Yeah.
You don't have to
No.
do
We
anything
got
you don't want
nothing
to
to
do.
prove. Nothing to prove.
Assuming that Charlie's Angels money hasn't dried up.
I don't know how that worked back then. I mean, but she did a lot of ads and stuff too, didn't she? I don't know. We'll have to ask her. We'll get her on the pod.
So many questions.
So many questions.
Oh, she was born in Texas, Wendy.
I forgot about that. Was she?
Look at that.
What town?
Houston,
Oh,
Texas.
Houston. I think I do remember that.
Oh.
Eh,
Is there a rivalry
Houston.
between Houston and
No,
Dallas?
Dallas already knows it's better. Houston.
It sounded
is
like it the way you said that.
hotter.
Yeah.
Or it's just crowded. I've never enjoyed a trip to Houston. No offense.
Got it.
Dallas is far superior.
We're going to move on.
Anywho, our last but definitely not least birthday on October 28th, who was just in the brilliant, for those who never watched it, Young Sheldon, Annie Potts.
Oh, yeah.
One
Annie
of those
Potts.
actors that's she just keeps it going. She hasn't had the like giant meteoric late career rise of Jean Smart, her designing
Right.
woman counterpart, but she is consistently working, and she was great as Meemaw on Young Sheldon.
I'm going to say she's 74.
I'm going to say she's 78.
My math is not good today. She is going to turn 72.
Ah.
Oh, I suck at this game.
I know. Listen. We got the
I mean,
right
we had
decade.
some close calls. Can I add one more birthday? It will have passed by the time this airs.
I know who you're going to say.
No.
But
Yes, please.
to
Of course.
the day we are recording this is Casey's birthday.
What? That's right.
My beloved bestie and podcast host extraordinaire. Happy birthday, Casey.
Happy birthday, Casey. Who I got
Happy-
to meet for the first time.
That's right.
Unbeknownst
Happy
to me, it
birthday,
was the first time.
Casey.
She's aging like a fine Gewürztraminer. And you don't look a day over 973.
Wow.
Amazing. Yes, we're big fans of Casey around here. And actually, there's a Casey. We will be talking about Casey in our mail sack momentarily. So that's a tease. But yes, that's awesome. We love you, Casey.
Happy birthday. Happy late birthday by the time you listen to this.
Happy birthday.
By the time my ass edits it and gets it out.
Well, I did
Yes.
something over the weekend.
Let's do a little
I-
This Week in SNOPing.
Okay.
Go when
Me
you go.
first.
You go first.
I went to the Hollywood show, which, for those who do not know what that is, it is a giant autograph show in Burbank at the Marriott, home of the Xena convention sometimes.
That's right. Yeah.
There are like 100 actresses, people from various, some from the good old days of film and TV, some from more recent, they just all show up and sign autographs. Kind of like, oh, you come get a table, whatever you make, you take home,
It's just called the Hollywood Show.
It's called the Hollywood Show.
Never heard of it.
I only know of it. I mean, I haven't lived here that long, but my friend comes in town occasionally for it. When she can't make it, sometimes she and a friend of hers will send me pictures or heavy books to have signed by various people that
Yeah.
they want autographs from.
It's all about
So-
autos. Yeah.
So I went, and I get to meet people I never think I'd meet, like Lonnie Anderson or, whoever, random people. Natalie from Facts of Life. Sometimes there are shows like I wouldn't necessarily go if they didn't ask me to go for them, or I wasn't just going with them because like Lori's in town or something.
Yeah.
But when I'm there, you get caught all caught up in it. You're like, oh, I want this person's autograph. I want to go, and if you want to meet them, I don't want, they're there to sign and make some money. So
Sure.
whatever.
But you get to talk to them, which is cool.
But it's fun. So I got a few. One was an actress named Tracy Toms from various. I think she was on Cold Case.
Okay.
With Catherine Morris. She's done a lot of things. She was in Death Proof with what's her name? Xena's stunt double, Zoe Bell.
Oh, cool.
But I was looking at her pictures and I thought she looks familiar. I've seen her. So I realized she was in an episode of Person of Interest. So
Oh,
I
she
had to
looks
print out
familiar.
this picture. She's
looks
done a lot
super.
of things. And so I was like, you're in one of my episodes of my favorite show. So she signed my POI picture.
Nice.
Of course, I met Najara, Catherine Morris,
Oh,
which I didn't need to
fun.
get this because I already met her with Lori. She was very sweet. The first convention she's ever done.
Oh,
So I was like,
really?
I'll get one. Yeah,
She
ever.
never did a Xena convention?
Never.
Wow. Okay,
Nope.
cool.
She
Nice.
was very, very, very nice. And I, apparently she'd taken some time off to raise her twins. And But she was very cool. And then I met Marla Hooch from League of Their Own. I had the best time chatting with this person. She now lives in the Woodlands, Texas.
That's a
We
great
chatted
picture.
about parents and life and politics, and she was a delight. A delight.
Love her.
Also, Ann Jillian from back in the day was adorable. I mean, everybody's very nice, but the biggest find I had was a man there autographing books he had done and worked on with Steven Spielberg. He had done some Back to the Future making of books, but then he also had this making of Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Whoa.
The most elaborate, extensive behind the scenes book.
That's your dream
There's
come
like,
true.
like little pages of like excerpts of drawings,
Sketches.
script pages, sketches. The most thorough book I can imagine ever having on Close Encounters. I said, that is my second favorite movie ever, and I'm buying that. I don't care what it costs.
Did you know that this guy was going to be there?
No.
What a
no,
surprise.
That's the thing. You go, and then there's random people there that you didn't expect, or like you see someone like, oh, I forgot they're in something I love, or this random guy who worked on books is there, and he has this book that I didn't know existed.
That's great.
But do they advertise certain people? Like, did you?
Well,
like, you knew some would be there.
Well, yeah, because they have a website, hollywoodshow.com, and they put who's going to be there. But it's Burbank. They're all a bunch of like they so they don't like sometimes they just don't show up because they got something that comes up. And like right now, maybe this has got to be old. It says okay, this is old. But they'll put the guest list for January up pretty quickly.
Oh, cool.
Usually. And so they advertise who's going to be there, but like this author guy, like I wouldn't know, it's not like they advertised him.
Right.
He was just a happy find. So I'm
So
very
do you
excited
pay
to read my book.
do you pay to get in?
No, yeah, but they paid my way because I was going for them.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so you pay for the parking, you pay, there's a, it's like, I think it's like $25 or $30 to get in, which,
So it's not like going
nothing,
to a convention.
It's not like you're paying hundreds of dollars. They do,
Right.
They also have panels, they have the photo ops.
Oh, they have panels.
A few. They try to do reunion shows. There were a bunch of 90210 people there. Like I got Ian Ziering to sign stuff for them. I always forget his name. What's the other guy with 3 names who was on 90210? But anyway, he was there.
David
Alden Greer. No.
No. But
I
it's
forget his name.
David.
Patrick.
No.
Sure.
Patrick, Bobby.
There were
Damn
Baywatch
it.
people there.
I have to
They
look
had
it up.
Dallas reunions. I shouldn't have to look it up. Green.
Austin.
Brian Austin Green.
Brian Austin Green.
Yeah, he was there. So they have themes, or they'll have photo ops with like a group from a specific show.
That's
What were the
cute.
prices like for autos? Like, were they pretty hefty?
Anywhere from 30 or 40 to 60.
Okay.
Which you go to a lot of cons, it's a lot more than that.
Yeah, that's comparable to like where we just were, Urptopia.
Yeah, exactly. I would say the longest line for anyone that I saw was Tori Spelling.
Sure.
He had the longest line. Peter Weller from RoboCop. He was only there
cool.
Friday. He had a good line too.
I bet.
Linda Blair goes to a lot of them, but what I love, first of all, people line up. She always has a big crowd for extras stuff, for the most part, probably. But she also uses that, and I don't know how much of what she makes goes to it. She has dog rescue.
Yeah.
She takes that money, and I think it goes to her dog rescue, at least a big part of it. And she has pictures of just her with dogs or whatever.
She does a lot. And I have a mutual friend with Linda Blair. Apparently she's a lovely woman, and she does a lot of work for dogs, so that's amazing.
It's like, hi, Linda. I'm never watching that movie again, but I love your work with dogs. So
that's awesome.
That was my weekend.
All right. Well, speaking of Hollywood, I spent the day on Saturday in Hollywood. We had some friends, my wife Leah and I, who I am married to. We had some friends visiting from out of town, and so we went into Hollywood to just kind of walk around. We went to, it's called the Hollywood Museum. It's next door to Mel's Diner at Hollywood and Highland.
Yes.
The most touristy intersection in all of Los Angeles. Wendy, have you been to the Hollywood Museum?
I have.
You have? Okay. I wanted to tell you about it because...
So this is not the Wax Museum.
It is not.
Okay.
It is a very different thing. It's like, it's sort of like a Max Factor. There's a lot of Max Factor makeup stuff. And like, the first couple floors are just like room, like there's a Judy Garland room and there's a Lucille Ball room and there's a Marilyn Monroe room, and it's like little dress, their makeup tables are set up and there's photos of them and it's all really interesting. But then there's other levels. There's like, if you go down into the basement.
Oh, that was cool.
I'm so glad you've seen it, Wendy, because I was going to tell you, you need to go. It's only $15 to get in, and they have a more like horror movie type setup downstairs. They have, I don't know if it's the exact set or it's a really good replica of The Silence of the Lambs.
Very creepy.
Hannibal Lecter's cell, like where he's in the plexiglass cell. But not just that, it's the entire walkway. So like there's 5 cells. It all looks like brick. It's like you're in the fucking. Do you know the scene I'm talking about?
Yeah, when she walks down and then he's just sitting there on like a stool in front of the thing, and then she talks with him.
Absolutely,
Is it dark?
It's so dark. It's super creepy, and it's great. I was so impressed.
Do they have music, like sound effects pumped in?
Some of the areas do, but not for the Silence of the Lambs area. But it was like, how did we, like the rest of the museum, I'll be honest, is a little cheesy. It's not exactly like, I don't know. There's a lot of like, I noticed there's like a wall of photos and there's like 3 repeats of Marilyn Monroe. There's like 3. It's the exact same photo, but it's like, oh, this is Marilyn in this year. This is Marilyn in like, no, it's the same photo. So there's a lot of, and like some of the names were misspelled.
There's someone's labeler, and the labels are coming up, and it's just dollar store picture frames.
Dude, it's very like
really
do it
low
yourself
budget. But then
museum.
you have a high budget, like reproduction of this walkway.
Yeah, and it's like
they blew the
ready.
budget on the Silence of the Lambs.
It's picture ready.
Anything left.
And then on the like 3rd and 4th floor, there's like cars from from Transformers, and like how'd they get the cars in there, Ann? How you get a car in a 3rd-story building on Hollywood and Highland? You know what I mean? It was weird.
Is there a big doorway?
No, you had to go up like a really tight stairwell just to maybe
put it back together.
I mean,
was it cardboard?
No, it was a car.
Did you touch it?
I didn't touch it. But
you don't know.
I inspected it.
You didn't give it an old rap, tap, tap, kick the wheels with your foot?
It's
an illusion.
No, I'm pretty sure it was a real car. No, I think it was real.
Were you drinking?
Well, obviously. No, not till later. I was just really impressed, and I was hoping I could surprise Wendy, who had to go do something. She'll be back any minute. To let her know, because she loves Silence of the Lambs. It's her comfort show. I think it's a movie that and like
so
Alien.
Comforting.
But she's already been. Of course she's been. So
of course she's been.
Because she's
I thought you were gonna say it was a reproduction of it puts the lotion in the basket or it gets the hose. Like, could you imagine if there was a hole in the floor?
That would be amazing.
We should do that in your front yard.
Okay. I mean, Halloween next year.
We'll start digging.
Looking for
Leah will be fine with this.
She will be fine with it.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
And then, as part of our afternoon, we decided to get last-minute tickets to the Joni Mitchell show. You
and your last-minute tickets.
It's all about the last-minute tickets.
Is this the one where Brandi Carlile was like, and Chappelle Rowan and everyone?
So we didn't know. So there's 2 nights. Okay. It was Saturday and Sunday. Sunday night was still good. It was Annie Lennox and one of the Mumfords from Mumford and Sons.
One of the sons. One of the Mumfords.
He was Marcus Mumford.
Okay.
And what's his name? Piano guy.
Billy Joel.
No, John Baptiste. Anyway, incredible backup band. And you know what? Brandi Carlile was an amazing human being. She clearly loves Joni Mitchell.
Oh,
and
for
is
sure.
her biggest fan. Mm-hmm. And is responsible for bringing her out of retirement and having these, they're called the Joni Jams. And it's just these really incredible, musicians. It's all sitting because because
she has trouble.
Joni has to sit. But she's just surrounded by these incredible musicians singing her songs, and obviously she's older. She's gone through some medical and health issues, and so her voice is certainly not the same as when she first recorded these songs, but they hit different. It's it's a woman who's had a life, man. She has had a life, and she is now turned into like this soulful jazz singer, just she can still sing. She's never going to sound the same, but it was just incredible. It was an amazing celebration of her. After every song, almost, there was a standing ovation. It was just wonderful to be there and to see her. And, you went to see Elton John. It's like his last tour. Like, time is running out on seeing these legends, and you got to do it. So the strategy is get in the door with a cheap ticket, and then a couple songs in, check StubHub.
Scooch up.
Well,
see if the ticket's actually been sold
because
yet.
people are just like giving them away because they want to get some money back. So like for $100, you can get up really freaking close. Like I got incredible seats for Stevie Nicks doing that as well. This is a system that can't lose.
Okay.
So
you're actually buying the ticket. You're not just scooching up to the empty seat.
No. I don't need that stress because what if the person comes back?
I know.
You know what I mean?
And then you're like,
that.
oh, my bad.
Just sit in your seat. Seat.
Yeah.
It drives
I'm not
me
a fan of the
nuts.
scooching because I'm too nervous.
You can't scooch. You
No.
can't scooch.
Okay.
But then, of course, the next night, that's when Meryl Streep shows up. Who else showed up? Some big names showed up the next night that we weren't there.
Yeah.
It was Meryl and
Pink Pony Club girl.
Oh, so yeah. She showed up, and then there's somebody else. There's another big name. I can't find it in here.
Just a picture. That's all I know.
Yeah. Anyway, it was great.
So jealous of you
Elton
in your
John.
last minute.
Elton John.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Jeez, Lou.
Yeah, we already said Elton John, but
that would have
not
been but it was still wonderful. So there you go. Wendy's back just in time to hear the end of that story.
Very cool.
So yeah, it was great. If you have an opportunity to see her, I would do it. And Brandi Carlile is an amazing human being. You missed the whole thing, Wendy. You missed the whole story.
Just say
I know.
it was
I don't
really
want to
cool.
hear it from you another time.
Yeah. It was.
Well,
it
you
was,
can
it was
listen
wonderful.
to it Thursday when this episode comes out.
No.
Oh, that's right. I can.
Wendy doesn't listen.
Well, because I just missed half of it.
She can't be bothered.
But no, it was great. And I was saying it was the night before that I went, not the night of Meryl Streep and Elton John showing up,
I
of
would have
course.
lost my damn mind if Meryl walked out there.
But it was still wonderful. Annie Lennox, I mean, come on. You can't beat Annie
Yeah,
Lennox.
Annie Lennox is pretty.
I saw her when Brandy came, and it was like Brandy with Joni as opposed to Joni with Brandy, and Annie was there. I flipped out. It was awesome.
But but everyone sings Joni songs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, they did one cover, and then a couple of people just would sing, to give Joni a break, they would sing to Joni, one of her songs, but Joni, would inevitably, like, help with the chorus and, like, just, couldn't help herself.
Gotcha.
And
Have you ever seen Annie on her own?
I've never seen Annie Lennox.
Me either. I would.
I
love
saw
to.
her with Sting. She opened for Sting years ago.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
She did like some opening stuff and then joined him for a couple songs, but she was fantastic.
So what was interesting is that, like, Joni is sitting the whole time, and so they, like, basically at the beginning of the show, the stage just rotates, and then here everybody is, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna take a break. This first half was more of like really deep cuts, and this next half is going to be a little more rockin', and so they it's like a 10-minute intermission. They come back, and I could see there's two new people in the very back. I'm like, that's Annie Lennox. And Leah's like, no. I'm like, that's Annie Lennox. And then
It's hard to mistake Annie Lennox.
I know. And then the Brandy's like, oh, we have some people, new people joining us. And then she goes around the room, and it's like, yeah. Oh, Rita Wilson was there singing. What? Which is kind of funny. But Annie Lennox, and the crowd goes nuts. She gets like a 3-minute standing ovation. But like they're just all sitting there the whole time, just rocking out, having a great time. It was really fun. It's like watching friends jamming together.
Yeah.
When I was went to the Brandy with Joni concert, or Brandy and Friends, when Annie Lennox came out, it was huge.
Yeah.
It was a huge ovation.
Yeah, she's beloved.
She is.
Now-
I love. She sings with her whole body.
Yeah, she does.
I love it. Puts
She
everything
does.
into it. Ba, 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 ba.
Tell me why.
Walking on broken glass. I love that song.
Would I
What?
not take you?
Now, this is last minute, did you Uber there? Or did you deal with the whole parking shit situation?
Because we were going to be in Hollywood all day, we parked in the Hollywood and Highland parking structure.
Mm-hmm.
It took us an hour to get home. It should have taken 10 minutes
Yeah.
without traffic.
You want to know
We
the
were
trick?
Stuck.
You want the Hollywood Bowl trick?
Tell me.
Everybody else don't listen because I don't want other people parking there.
Hold
I go
yours.
really early.
Yeah.
Park in the lot at that Methodist church at the corner of
Oh, yeah.
whatever that is. It's like it's always cheaper than the other ones, like the
Yeah.
other parking
It's
lots.
like 45
and
bucks or something.
when you leave, you just go out the other exit, take a right, you go the back roads home, and you're
Yeah.
home in like 15 minutes.
Go up Laurel.
You don't
Laurel
go any
Canyon.
through that other traffic, and it's
Yeah.
perfect.
I think next time I'm going to take the shuttle. The shuttle's
Yeah,
great.
we take the bus thing.
Shuttle's great.
I had
yeah.
friends take that.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
I think we've only driven there once, and then we're like, never again. But
I like the Methodist church lot, but you have to go really early to get a spot. It fills up pretty quick. That's
yeah,
the
I'm
drawback.
I'm over like spending all day to do a thing.
Yeah,
You
I
know
get
what I
it.
mean? Like, if this is like going to be a 2-hour concert, I don't want to have to spend 8 hours for the 2 hours.
I get it. It's an investment. It's a big
Yeah.
investment of time. I get it.
Yeah, the parking is far and away the only bad thing about that place. It's
Yeah,
a
'cause
wonderful
it's-
venue.
It
The
sucks.
parking is the traffic and the parking is
Yeah, and the
They
leaving
can't have a
because
normal
everyone's
watch.
just going downhill.
Yeah.
And
Down the hill,
down
down the
down
Hollywood
the
hill, into the tunnel.
All right,
Of
let's get out of this. Okay, really quickly, it's sort of a mail sack. I want to talk about the beers. We got some beers. We normally get a notice. Bears on the road. We normally get notifications and email that, hey, someone has sent you some beers. So when I was going in to transfer the money because we gotta pay the bills, there were two beer packages that we had never been notified about, and I feel terrible because
Because we
those
could have been
people-
drinking beers.
we could have been drinking beers, and people are like, hey, I sent you fucking beers. You're not going to acknowledge me? What the fuck's wrong with you? So, Susan Minnie sent some beers for my birthday. They said, happy birthday, Kat. Thank you guys for the beers. Sorry it took so fucking long to thank you.
I mean, you had some things going.
There were some things. And now, okay, Casey.
Oh, that troublemaker?
Casey and I got beef.
Is this? Oh, I see what's happening.
So when we were at Calgary together, we were able to one of the first nights we were there, we were all able to sit down and enjoy each other's company. Casey was there, Lee was there. We had a really nice time, and I wanted Casey to try an actual old fashioned, not the atrocity that they serve in Wisconsin, which is like 7-Up or Sprites involved or something. Ann, is that true?
Yeah.
So I said, no. These are I've had one here. I'm gonna buy you an old fashioned. So I buy her an old fashioned. She hates it. It's terrible. She said it's like the worst thing she's ever tasted.
Oh.
I'm like, all right, well, obviously you're not gonna pay for that, so it's on me. Why don't you get something else and I'll pay for your drinks, whatever. And this really upset her. She did not like that. So then she Venmo'd me money for the beers, or for the drinks. And I've Venmo'd her back plus $1. Like, I'm not taking your money. Every time you send me money, I'm going to send you more money back.
No.
So then I check, and of course she has sent us some beers. And it's enough beers to actually, she got the math right. It is about the amount of money that we've been fighting over. She said, you three are pure joy. Here are several beers from Kat via me. And then she says, gotcha. So
This
Well
isn't
played.
over.
Well played, Casey. It's not over.
It's
Oh,
not
no.
over.
This is not over. It's far from it. Far from it. But thank
When
you,
you
Casey.
least expect it,
Yeah.
bam.
Boom. So thank you, Casey. We think you are pure joy, and don't worry, I'm going to get you back.
Yeah, but you like your drinks like gasoline because I was like, I'm chilly. I want a warm drink. What should I get?
Yeah, hot toddy.
Yeah, and you said hot toddy, which sounds sweet and delicious. And it was
is.
like,
It was good. Did someone else try it too? I think, Wendy, you didn't try it, right? The hot toddy at the restaurant in Canmore?
no, Banana Cat tried it, and I think she lied.
She said it was fine. And so I was like, fuck it, give it to me. I'll drink it. That was the night I was like, I'm not going to drink anything tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And then Noe gets us some fucking buttery
Shot
nipples or
after
something.
shot after
Yeah.
shot.
Anyway. And then we went and saw that was the Northern Lights night. That was that incredible night.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Anyway, hot toddies are delicious, Anne. You're crazy.
It's too gasoline-y.
No. Let's do a quick sports hit. Sports. Of course,
Sports.
Tara's not here, and I'm sure she would have a lot more to say. New York Liberty wins the WNBA Finals. Congratulations to Liberty.
Congratulations to Ellie the Elephant.
Yes.
You worked hard to get where you are with the round ball.
A little too sexual, that elephant, for me. You know?
She's
She's a little
I
too
mean,
sexual.
we don't know. It could be, we don't know who's in there.
That's true.
That's what cracks me up about mascots. It could be
could be anybody.
just the most random looking person.
Dude.
It could be a grandmother.
It could be.
It could be a grandfather.
17-year-old boy.
I feel like
Yeah.
it usually is some random person you would never
Yeah.
expect.
Yeah.
But like so expressive as an elephant. And I mean, listen, I'll be honest, I didn't actually watch any of the games. The most I saw of the games was whenever they would put Aubrey Plaza up on the big screen and people would go nuts, and she's always doing some kind of a bit. I'd always see that after the fact. But whatever Aubrey Plaza wants to do, I'm going to watch it. So,
I'm there for it.
so
I saw a
congratulations to
quote
Aubrey and the New
That
York
she was
Liberty.
an alien who came to Earth to observe, but accidentally got famous, and now she can't leave. I believe it.
I believe it. She is not from here.
Have you seen the clip of like a very awkward fan doing the down the road at like a press thing?
Oh, no.
I find it. It's on.
Ugh.
It's on all the things right
Was
now.
it cringy?
Makes me
Aubrey
uncomfortable
is
just
on this.
thinking about
If
it.
you Drunk Hot posted it today, I think, or yesterday. If you look up Drunk Hot, she's Drunk Hot says, "Just say it, Aubrey, say it." And you can see in the video, Aubrey's off to the side shooting this person all the looks, and Aubrey's face is saying all of the things everyone is thinking. Like, just make it stop. Like, how did this person get past security? Why are they letting it go on? It's
My
awkward for
goodness.
everyone.
My goodness.
Yeah. But Aubrey. Aubrey's a national treasure.
She is. She's a treasure. We don't deserve her. I'm glad she's here. In other sports news, just quickly, we have a World Series, Dodgers versus Yankees. That's kind of cool. It's a big matchup.
I feel like that's what all of baseball wanted for ratings.
Pretty
Forever.
much, right?
Yeah.
It's exciting. I'm a Dodgers fan, obviously. I actually went to a game. I went to a playoff game when we were playing the Mets, and unfortunately, that's the one game in that series the Dodgers got their asses got kicked, and then they went back and beat them by 20 to whatever. But anyway, it was still a fun game. But go
And y'all
Dodgers!
ended up winning.
Yeah, it was great. It worked out in the end.
You know who won last year?
I think it was the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, so we'll see if y'all can catch up with our championships. We have one.
Whoa.
Yeah, we'll
How
try.
many do y'all have with the Dodgers?
Only like 6 or 7.
Whatever.
But it's been a couple years, so
Now it's
So we've
weird.
won one since y'all.
that's true.
East Coast, West Coast rivalries.
That's right. It should be fun. It'll be good. It's probably gonna get ugly, and
Oh,
there's
for
gonna
sure.
be lots of fuck LA and all that kind of stuff. That's fine. We're used to it.
You've been a classy.
Keep it classy. Okay. Speaking of class all the way, get in the truck, y'all. We're going to Purgatory.
She Nerds Out presents Live from Purgatory.
Rootin' tootin' good time.
All right.
Tootin'.
And we're here. So, listen. We're not just going to Purgatory. We're talking about the Tales from Purgatory, which is the new Audible. Are we calling it a season? What are we calling it? What is it?
Okay.
It's
Here's
not
the thing.
It's not a podcast.
I maybe want to write this down for when Miss Emily Andres comes on your show.
Okay.
I'm confused because, okay, so when we sat through the panels at San Diego Comic-Con,
Yes.
we luckily had some really good ones. And there was one from Audible I want to say it was the one right before the Winona Earp one.
Okay.
And it was for an Audible series called The Safe Man.
Okay.
And it had Jack Quaid and Titus Welliver. We heard clips from it. It was really good. It's a Michael Connelly story. When you go to Audible, it's called a podcast. And you can't buy it like you would an audiobook on Audible. You have to be a subscriber.
Okay.
Part of their whatever
Membership.
subscription.
Yeah.
Right. It's like a premium something.
Okay.
But so what's the difference between what this is with the Tales from Purgatory and what that is?
So I'm looking at the sort of the homepage, if you will, on the Audible app for the Winona Earp Tales from Purgatory, and it's listed as an audio book. So I think the books you can pay for out of pocket and not be a subscriber.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the podcast must be included in your membership. That's my guess. I don't know why
But
they
it's
do
not
that.
a podcast. It's literally a Michael Connelly.
Is it a book? Is it based on one of his books, or is this an original
I think he
thing?
wrote a book for. I don't. This is an Anne fact, but it's. I mean,
What is it
it's a
called
book.
again?
It's not a podcast. The Safe Man.
The Safe Man. Okay.
I don't want to take away from the Purgatory. I'm just confused, the differences between those things.
Yeah.
And what?
Yeah, you're right. It's definitely listed as a podcast. It's also an Audible original.
But this is an Audible original too, isn't it?
It is, and it's listed as a book. That is weird. I don't know that Emily's going to know that.
Yeah.
But we can certainly ask her. That's weird.
Because then I feel is it how do they make money?
Right. Audible, you mean?
Or even Winona.
Oh.
You know what I mean? What's more advantageous? Is it more advantageous to have it under this subscription streaming
I see.
versus you can just
buy it?
Because you can't just buy the Safe Man.
But you can buy Winona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just flat out buy it. But the Safe Man, you have to be part of the monthly membership.
That's interesting. I mean, I think it's good, right? It's good that you don't have to have a subscription for Winona. I think that's probably going to be a lot easier for people.
I'm just wondering which makes them more money in the end. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can certainly ask her that, and I can ask her how much she got paid to do this.
Yeah, she'll tell you.
I think she will.
She loves to talk numbers and finances, personal finances.
Finance.
Which bank do you bank at?
What's the last 4 digits of your social security number?
What's your ATM withdrawal limit?
Yeah.
And your password.
Did you get
Your
paid in
passcode.
Canadian dollars or US dollars? Just so
Can you give me money? That's the last question.
Can I have money?
Right.
These are
Yeah,
good
I'm
questions.
just curious. I want to know how all the things work all the time. But
I think I think it's good to be curious, Anne.
it just was interesting to me.
You're a curious little cat.
But also rate it if you've listened to it.
Yes.
I don't know how to say this politely, so I'm not going to try very hard.
Okay.
If you listened to it and you liked it, give it a 5. If you listened to it and you were like, meh, don't give it a 4 or a 3. That kind of criticism is for backstage behind the scenes
Yes.
because like those is really can affect it.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not going to change the content. Like it's too late. If you have a problem with the story or you have a problem with the performances, your review or it's not going to change anything. So if it's not for you, it's okay. Move along.
Right.
Just don't fuck it up for other people.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, all it's going to do is make it look bad. Not bad, but like it's so like threes and fours very quickly bring down the average. And
Yeah.
people don't realize that.
Yeah. So I mean,
um,
for instance, I'm looking at it. It has a 4.7 out of 5 stars.
that's good.
Why are people giving it less than 5? I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Like the whole point is like, did you listen to it? Did you like it? Would you like to see more? Just give it a 5.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
You don't have to overthink it. You're not gonna reinvent anything. No.
You're not.
No.
But what did you guys think? So I've actually only listened to 3 of these because I'm trying to make them last as long as I can. But we decided that we would talk about The Gambler and Another You. But we don't have to get super into the nitty gritty. But overall, do you guys want to start with overall how you're liking them or liked them? I'm guessing. And I know you've listened to all of them, correct?
I did. I really tried to pace myself, and I at least savored it a little bit. But by the end of the weekend, I had listened to all of them because they roll right into the next one.
Yeah, they pull you in.
And even though they're separate, it's just like, okay, I'll listen to the next one. And they go so fast.
Mm-hmm.
From an audiophile point of view, like I thought the sound was amazing.
Yeah, it's good production value. And it's kind of fun. Like Winona is sort of our narrator, and so she's like, kind of she is taking us through all these different stories. But like Melanie's performance is incredible. It's Winona. Like it's you know what I mean? Like I can see her, her physical performance, but just by listening to her, I can see how she would be playing this on screen. I think she fucking nailed it. I think everybody was great, but Melanie in particular, I'm just like, yeah, I can see her. I can see Winona doing this.
Yeah, as a kid, I know there's some radio station that you could listen to that had TV shows on it. And at night, I would fall asleep very often listening to the Dukes of Hazzard, which I have not revisited, and I'm sure
Tell me how old you are without telling me how old you are.
I know. I really kind of want to go back and watch it, but I'm sure it's just so very problematic.
I mean, it's called the General Lee. The car is the General. There's fucking bars and stars and bars all over everything.
I don't know what I was doing watching this as a child.
It's all problematic.
It was
but how did I turn out to be a liberal gay? Like by watching that, like obviously I wasn't
we didn't
indoctrinated.
comprehend it. Like I didn't. All I knew, there were 2 cute dudes. They drove a fun car.
Fast car. They don't even open the doors. They just go through the window all the time.
It was the coolest thing.
And I don't think there's
Beat-Go train.
I don't think there's anything overtly racist about like their adventures. It was just the undertone of like, oh wow, this is definitely
there's
deep
probably
South.
like a ton of sexism and deep South.
Well, didn't Catherine Bach she wear the little shorts?
Daisy
Dukes.
That's where we get them.
But I felt very reminiscent of this, where it's like you can see the story in your mind's eye. Like I can see the characters. I can formulate obviously I can see the characters that I already know, but I can formulate a real clear vision of like the characters that I don't know that are introduced. And the sound effects were great. But
it's like
it was
a radio play.
Yeah, really fun.
Yeah, I loved it.
It exceeded my expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think because I've been listening, I've only gotten to listen to 2 of them, and I did it at work, and I have this little downtime where my little break time fits exactly so far with each episode.
Oh,
so
nice.
when they're wrapping up, I'm even kind of thinking, okay, I hope this wraps soon because I gotta go, but I want to finish it. But so I put on my earbuds, surround, noise canceling So I'm sitting there at work, and it's like I'm in the middle of purgatory because the sounds and the voices, and it just feels like I'm in this world of immersed, and it sucks because then I gotta turn it off and go do a stupid job. But
Mm.
yeah, it's cool. It sounds amazing, especially in my little earphones where all the other noises tuned out. It sounds
Mhm.
fantastic.
Yeah,
I
they did a
mean,
great job.
do I definitely want more Winona in my eyes? Absolutely. But
Mm-hmm.
if they can crank these things out fast, like as an app, like to whet my palate and keep me busy in between like another show,
Mm-hmm.
I would be very happy with this.
And obviously the like they can, Emily can write that they go into outer space and there's a volcano. Like, sky's the limit, right? Because
Yeah.
it's
And that's what
all
she
in your
said in a
mind.
panel. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
we're on a train and it sounds like we're on a train. And I think Melanie had mentioned at one of the panels from New York Comic Con, New York City? No, New York Comic Con. Um, that they were doing it in the bathroom in one of the stories. Just like you can do that. It doesn't, your location's not changed. But yeah, that's a really
Great.
cool thing, right? Yeah, like they never leave this room, but they do. I
And
love
apparently,
Foley.
they all were in the room together. It seems like, right?
Hmm.
The behind the
Oh, were
scenes
they?
videos and stuff. It seems like if they're in a scene together, they were actually in the room together, which is I'm sure makes it a lot easier to act.
Yeah, the
Um,
director, Casey Wayland, said that he knows Earpers, and he's like, you guys would know if they
Huh.
weren't looking in each other's eyes when they were doing. He felt like it would hamper some of the
I like this
scenes.
guy.
I know he really
Smart,
seems to
smart
understand
guy.
the assignment.
mhm.
Um, yeah, and Melanie had also mentioned like that one of the sound directors, he's like always cultivating sound. Like when he flew to the location for something, he was recording like bathroom
Oh,
door sounds and
nice.
all
Hmm.
these different things on the airplane, knowing that like, oh, we're gonna have this airplane thing, like I can get these sounds.
I love that.
Yeah, I thought that was really
That's
cool.
fun. That's so fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think we need to get into the super details of these, but I will say that like the another you kind of fills in the blanks of what happened with Rachel and Nicole before Waverly and
Is
Winona
that
and
the one
Doc
we were
come
supposed to
back.
have listened to? I thought it was the other one. I
Which
listened to the first two. I thought it
yeah,
was
no, that's definitely the wrong one. We're supposed to go the Gambler and another you. So never mind. It's a good thing.
I mean, you can talk about it. Well,
No, it's
because on
okay.
mine it played. Wait, the gambler was the one where
It
the
was
little
out.
cat, right?
About
Yeah,
Doc's hat.
right, and then it was out of order from there. So another you was like the
Oh.
fourth. There's six of these all together, and we were
Hmm.
gonna do one and
Please
four.
continue.
No, it's
Oh,
fine,
I
but
didn't
no,
read
it,
these.
like just that like with these smaller smaller little stories, you can fill in a lot of blanks of like, well, what
Hmm.
did happen then? And I'm sure Emily and the writers, it must be kind of freeing to be like, cool, we have no budget constraints. What story can we tell?
Well, you have to kind of think too, like it's not that, I mean, they love these characters, right? They talk about them
Yeah.
living rent free in their heads all the time. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm sure they kind of get into this situation where they want to tell the rest of the story that they have in their head for these characters. But you have budget and time constraints, and it's like you can't get all of those soft, touchy-feely, whatever backstory
Mm-hmm.
moments in, but like through this medium, you can.
Yep. Yeah, and you don't have to pay for
And
visual effects if you want someone to be floating above the bed.
yeah, and you can't, you I don't know, it's something that I had never even thought of as
Mm-hmm.
an option. And I know Emily, like now that I look back, Emily's been teasing forever. Like, I think there's more ways to ERP, there's all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of ways to ERP, and there's lots of ways to tell ERP stories. And
Yeah.
I just had this wasn't even on my radar.
Uh,
Um,
Same, but it's kind of crazy, right? Because we fucking do podcasts all goddamn
I
time. Like, of
know.
course, why wouldn't we have thought? But like, honestly, you've said it already. But if this is how we ERP for the rest of time, I'm good with that. Like this was really rich, full storytelling to me, and it felt, each episode is very satisfying. And you learn a lot about each character more than you would in a, because everyone has to share the storylines, right? There's like a story, a B story. See, no, there's just one story in these, and you really get to know these people. You get to, Doc and Calamity Jane getting drunk together, playing poker. Like that's fucking cool.
Right.
Yeah, there's just so many stories that.
And it's like with audiobooks, like it's always kind of, I read a lot of books. I listen to a good amount of audiobooks.
Smut,
and it's
mostly.
Mostly 100%. 95%.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah. And so it's either going to be just like someone who reads audiobooks, narrator, or sometimes you get the author, right?
Right.
But a lot of times when it's the types of books that I read, you don't get the author. This is in historical fiction. But so like you get to know like certain narrators, and it's like, ooh, this one's really going to do this justice. They have like a sultry voice, yada yada. Sometimes you get a book that you really loved, and then you listen to it on audio, and you're like, they just weren't hitting all these parts, or they're like, they do other characters and they like to do a voice for that character, right? And that's where sometimes it like can take you out of the story.
Yeah. Well, Wendy, you talked about that for Cleat Cute, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But with
they're
this,
reading
you
their
have the
interpretation.
character.
Yeah. They know the character.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's as long as they're doing their own characters and it's their voices and it's not somebody else trying to pretend to be Winona.
No, that would be a disaster.
Yeah.
That honestly, it would be unlistenable. It would be really hard to listen to someone else do these characters. And this, it's easier to schedule. You can just schedule a couple hours at a, some recording studio. You don't need to have flights, and like it's just so much easier to make these stories.
And where was I going with this?
Oh fuck, I'm sorry. The voices, the character.
I don't know. Very believable.
Yeah.
I know. It's like none of it was lost. Like all the double entendres were in
God.
there.
Oh,
and then some. Yeah.
So many.
Yeah, I mean, it
Winona's
definitely was
hilarious.
delivering. Like so many backdoor jokes and I mean,
Very funny.
I prefer, not that I don't enjoy, like, so we'll have like the main characters doing like their dialogue, and then we have these other characters that get introduced because they're not just going through their own story, they're telling a story, right?
Right.
So like, for example, with the Doc one, we've got Wyatt that makes an appearance, and Calamity Jane, which when I saw Calamity Jane in one of the titles, I thought for sure it was going to be a talking cat. Yeah.
That would have been great.
So
A
I thought
talking cat.
I thought she lived. Sorry, Tara. But it was not Calamity.
But that's so funny. So yeah, in the another you, sorry, the one that Wendy didn't listen to. So Rachel is like trying to get Nicole out of the house. Nicole doesn't want to leave because what if Waverly comes back? So she's just there like kind of staring out the window the whole time. And Rachel's like, but what about your cat? And Nicole's like, I don't fucking care. Like that was really funny. Basically like, who gives a shit? Fuck the cat.
Rude. Rude.
Yeah, I can't wait for Tara to listen to that episode.
Oh,
she's like,
I loved
thought
it.
maybe if I found out where your cat actually went off to. But even that, I was like, okay, so we're still all in denial that the cat's been eaten by Nedley, right?
That's
like
so
It's
we're
not been
still
eaten.
looking for the cat.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
not
sure.
there.
Pretty sure.
No, stop.
But yeah, definitely fun to get like these backstories.
Yeah. Especially after like obviously Vengeance left a lot of sort of like, okay, we've talked about this, I feel like, into the ground to the point like, yes, it wasn't full ERP because we had to, bring in new people, whatever. So like if you did feel like, boy, it just, I just don't feel like I got the full blown characters, boy, do you get them in this. Like, and you get really insightful, like, you know, you're in their heads, you know, like you really understand what they were feeling, what they're going through. And as another you, as an example, Waverly had never heard the story because Nicole
Doesn't want to talk about it.
Nicole doesn't talk about it. It was a rough time. And so you get to hear Waverly hear the story for the first time. It's really kind of wonderful and touching and heartbreaking and all the things. Like, that's amazing. How often that's, again, like, we're so fortunate to be fans of the show right now.
Right.
Like, we're getting a lot of really cool content. And yeah, if you were left wanting with vengeance, you got to dive into these. These are so good.
Yeah, Another You was written by Shelley Scarrow, and directed by Casey Wayland. I believe all of them are directed by Casey Wayland. But yeah, I mean, we're all Waverly in this story, right? Like, we've all wanted to know, like, what happened during that time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's beautiful. It's heartbreaking. It's touching. It's just really sweet moments with just like, you know, not only is Rachel, you know, going away, but we see like Waverly being the calm one, and
Right.
like everything's fine, and it's sweet to see Nicole kind of panicking and you know,
Being
trying
nervous
to
and-
nervous
yeah.
about the whole thing. And we've got all the Waverlyisms in there. There's a moment I really liked when she said, did you love it the first time you saw it?
Oh, right.
And it
the
was her
homestead.
asking
Yeah.
Rachel if she loved it the first time she like laid eyes on it, kind of
Yeah,
like
the
the
view.
view.
Yeah, from the porch.
And I was like, oh, that's so like, I don't know. I think it really hit me too, just because I had just been in Calgary.
Right.
And it was like, I was like, yeah, I did. I loved it the first time I saw it. And it was like, if it's any, you know, we know it was shot. We were very close to where it was shot, you know. So it's like the view she's talking about, it's like, yeah, I can picture that view. It's like those big skies. Like, yeah, I loved it the first time I saw it.
And yeah, like, you know, the homestead itself is pretty run down and junky, but like you are on this beautiful land. Of course you would fight tooth and nail for it, right? Like if that was your home, man, that it just kind of really, yeah, that hit, you're right, that hit a little different for sure. Good stuff.
Yeah, good story. And then The Gambler was written by Brendan York, again directed by Casey Wayland. Yeah, super fun. The one thing I was noticing about that one, I was trying to take some notes, but I was listening while I was driving too.
Please be careful.
But they were talking about the Ghost River Triangle there, and I was like, my ears kind of perked up because it's like, you know, they're still weaving in this lore. And
Yeah.
she was talking about like, this was during the time when it was Calamity Jane and stuff, and they were talking about these stacks of rocks, these cairns. And I was like, oh yeah, like Ma'am had when,
Right.
and then also when Doc, like the showdown with Doc, when those stacks of rocks, and I was like, oh, here we go again with the rocks. And
Yeah.
then Winona was talking about how like, oh yeah, that the edge of the Ghost River Triangle. And it's like, yeah, here we like all these like there's just
good.
so many stories. Like I had
I
never
know.
even thought about like this kind of story where, you know, you get the back in the day stuff.
Well, and I think Doc even says one of his lines of dialogue is, yeah, that's the story of the first time I went to Purgatory. It's the first time he goes to Purgatory. Like that's like Doc could have his own fucking season of just him and Wyatt running around doing shit like that. I would listen to that for sure. There's so much, and like there's more that we don't know, that what Doc and Winona were doing on the road. Like there's so many stories to draw from.
Yeah. And like, while I do prefer hearing my favorites' voices more, like I don't mind these other stories, you know, because it's like it does.
Totally.
They stop talking for a while, and then it's like these other characters, and I'm kind of like, but I want more in Daka Winona, or I want more of Wayhot. It seems like they do a pretty good job of like piecing it up, though, where it's not just like teasing you with 2 minutes of Winona talking and then like this big story with a bunch of other people.
Totally. Yeah, no, it's well directed, well paced. Yeah, it's just really good. I recommend it.
And there was
I feel like if you're gonna listen, if you're a Winona fan, you're probably, it's on your radar. So
yeah,
it's not like
there's
we're
no
telling
reason
you
not to
anything.
listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, spoiler alert. And also in Another You, there was some Dom singing in there.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Mhm.
any
So that's fun.
excuse to get them to sing.
Yeah.
This makes me
But-
want to explore other things similar. Now, I didn't know that they were done. And maybe they're not all done like exactly like this, but makes me want to see what other kind of books or stories are out there.
Yeah,
that are
for
like
sure.
this.
Like these radio play type
Yeah,
stuff.
like a radio play.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
great. It's a good genre. It's fun.
Well, there's that
Yeah.
thing and story because I don't remember all the details, but there's
In fact,
there are these plays that happen.
Hmm.
I want to say at the Amundsen. I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
okay. The
But
Amundsen
there-
Theater is a
but-
theater in LA.
But there's no set. It's like a radio show.
Right. So
and
they're like
all the-
standing up.
They're
at
just
the-
standing up at
Yeah.
mics, and it's usually like famous people are doing
Sure.
it.
Mm.
The cast like is always like star-studded, and there's like just a Foley guy in the corner, and you can watch him
Oh,
doing
wow.
it the whole time.
That's fun.
Yeah, and it's
That's
really fun. So he's
super
like,
old school.
doing a doorbell. He's clip-clopping the shoes, and they're just standing there. But it's like you can see it all in your head, but it's like
That's
the
awesome.
radio show is in front of you.
I love that. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
So
cool.
hopefully we have more of these to talk about.
More, please.
So give Tales from Purgatory a listen, review it 5 stars only, and really quickly before we leave Purgatory, Herbtopia, the panels are dropping. The panels are gonna be coming out for the next, I guess, however many panels there were. There's like one a day coming out. So
Okay.
if you weren't able to go to the con, you'll be able to see the panels, and they've turned them around very quickly. I know that Alex has been
Alex has
responsible
been
for
working
those,
on
and
this.
she's like a machine. She's just, I don't know how she has all the time and energy, but she does.
Looking
one-
forward to the crew panel because I missed it. I was lunching with Snop while you prepared for your vengeance panel.
Yes,
So I'm very interested to watch the crew
Oh
panel.
yeah, that was really sweet. You could just see all the respect everyone has for Emily.
Mhm.
One more thing about Tales from Purgatory, you can also rate it on IMDb,
Oh,
which is where I was going to find out who wrote each episode. It's listed in IMDb.
that's cool.
And there's only a few people who have rated it so far, but it has high ratings. But I think like only 10 people rated it there so far. So I'm gonna tweet about it too. But
Oh, great.
go to all the places you can find and rate it highly if you can. 'Cause-
Kat, where did you see the 4.7?
I am on the Audible app.
Okay, because I just went to Amazon and then
Oh,
Audible
cool.
and searched, but it has one rating from some doofus that gave it 1 star. So I don't know. I haven't gone. I'm listening on the app, but some Lonnie, the Great Northern Troll, gave it 1 star. He said he was the wrong audience to appreciate this.
Why?
Yeah,
Why would you
Lonnie.
even?
I-
You
why-
said you're a
Exactly.
troll.
He said he didn't want a bunch of flashbacks. He thought it'd be a great bite to let me know if I would like Winona Earp's world, but it
no,
didn't.
it's not for you.
Shut up,
It's funny
Lonnie.
because Lonnie was the sheriff's deputy that eventually got eaten by the vampires, which is kind of funny.
This sounds like Lonnie's
Look,
retribution.
he
Yeah, Lonnie's
looks-
pissed.
He
Yeah.
looks like a revenant, I'll say that, without the glowing eyes. I mean, troll is in your name, so
I know exactly.
That's ridiculous. So maybe go on Amazon.com and rate as well, because it sounds like Lonnie's the only one on there.
yeah,
That's
I'm gonna
ridiculous.
rate it.
What an idiot.
5. Take that, Lonnie.
Yeah, fuck you, Lonnie.
Such a
Okay,
Lonnie
that's
thing to
kind of
say.
that's kind of he's such a Lonnie. So that's kind of our show. Anne joined us today because Tara is hard at work getting ready for her Fan Fusion UK convention. And if you go to our, we've been posting on our Twitter and our Instagram questions. Send us questions so that you can help Tara out. And if it's a good question, she may even use it during one of her panels. So please, there's a ton of people going, ton of fandoms being represented. So go check it out. You might, there might be a burning question that you've always wanted to ask one of these many fine people.
Yeah.
So do that.
Do it.
Be a pal. Be a pal.
Be a helper. Be a buddy.
Yeah.
Be a pal.
Come on.
Or just
She wants to know what the real fan. Like, what are the burning questions that
What have
people
you
want?
always wanted to know about ER Fightmaster's band?
That's right.
What hair product do they use to get those feathery effects?
Luscious locks.
Luscious locks.
Yeah, so go check it out.
Yeah.
And also always a big thank you to our producer Jackie, putting in the work. Jackie,
When did you get producer? What, you're taking my job? You're taking my job.
You can be co-producer. There's room for plenty of producers.
You know what? There are more than one Jackie. I just know it. There's no way Jackie
there must be, right?
can accomplish all the things.
I don't know. She's not good. But yeah, thanks again, Anne. Thanks for joining us. I feel like you'll be joining us again soon if that's amenable to you.
Sarah's not coming back. Sarah's gonna be drinking gin in London. Not coming back.
I hope so. She deserves it. She
Yeah.
deserves it.
She'll have earned some
fun,
gin.
Yeah.
Fun trip, exactly.
We're on the Twitter. That's not podcast with 1D. Anywhere else? I don't know what our Instagram is. With
We're
Tara
on
here.
Instagram.
Oh, good. I'm glad you know.
She Nerds Out Podcast. Instagram and Facebook at She Nerds Out Podcast.
You can send old-fashioned rootin' tootin' good time mail to Snop P.O. Box 6732 Burbank, California 91510.
You can also
Tubi.
send us. Oh, sorry.
Tubi,
Yeah. Hey,
go ahead.
Tubi. What's
Send
up,
some
Tubi?
more stuff. Send it.
We love you, Tubi. I don't know that Tubi realizes that we use their name in dozens of episodes between the announcement of the Tubi of Vengeance and the airing of it. I don't think they know that, and they need to know. Maybe we need to tell them.
Tubi Tally.
Tubi Tally. And if you want to send us an email, you can send that to shenerds@gmail.com. Go to our website, shenerds.com, and you can send us a voicemail. You can buy us some beers like Casey and Susan Minnie did. You can look at our merch. We have some great merch. Go check it out. Good t-shirts, mugs, stickers, all the things. And yeah, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening. If you want to give us a review, you can give us a 5-star rating. 5 stars only.
5 stars only. Lonnie.
You have any criticism? Just send
Yeah.
us an email so we can
Lonnie.
get better.
Lonnie. Don't be a
listen,
Lonnie.
Don't be a Lonnie.
Don't be a Lonnie.
Don't be a great northern troll.
You don't want to be. You don't want to be a Lonnie.
No.
Nobody likes a Lonnie.
Lonnie's the new Karen.
All right,
Ah.
kids. I got to go to bed.
Yeah, go to
So-
bed. It's almost 7:00, Wendy. Get out of
I-
here.
It's actually 6, but
It's almost
who's
6
counting?
o'clock, Wendy. Get out of here.
All right. Well, we'll see you all around next time. Until then, we need sound effects. I feel like now, like after talking about Audible, I wish I had some like sound effects to play.
What would you like? I can add these all in. What would you like?
I don't know, like a
Like
UFO,
some-
like we're beaming up, or
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay. And what do you want? What do you
I
Ann?
want a harmonica.
Got it. And then I want.
and some whistling, like
We can't hear you.
you can't hear my whistle.
No.
No, because the Zoom it filters out.
Fuck.
I know.
Yeah, I like whistles and harmonicas.
Got it. And then I feel like at the end the 3 of us are gonna just walk out in our high heels and close the door behind us.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, do that.
Oh.
High heels walking down a hallway
Done.
and a squeaky door slam.
All right.
You better
Let's
fucking
hit it.
do it, Crimmins.
Oh, I'm gonna fucking do it.
Better fucking bring it.
AHB.
Our podcast may be a day late, but it will have sound effects.
Now with more sound effects.
It'll be worth it.
It'll be worth it. All right. Well, let's sign off so Kat can get to work. She nerds out.
Out.
Ouch.